Okay, in this lesson, you're going to be given a graph. You're going to be asked if it's proportional or not sometimes. And if it is proportional, they're going to ask you for an equation. Okay, let's do one problem together. Okay, Max is finding the perimeter of different sized equilateral triangles. There is a proportional relationship between the side length of an equilateral triangle in feet, x, and the perimeter of the equilateral triangle in feet, y. Okay, so the perimeter is the y-axis and the side length is the x-axis. Okay, write an equation for the relationship between x and y. Simplify any fractions. Okay, let me get to an image of this so I can write on it. Okay, remember, when we have an equation that's proportional, okay, a proportional equation, it's always in the form y equals something x. Okay, that something in front of the x is all kinds of things when it's proportional. You could find that number by figuring out the constant of proportionality from a data table. You could also figure out that number by finding the slope of the graph. And you could also find that number by thinking about unit rate. Unit rate is basically constant of proportionality with labels. So all we really need to do is figure out the slope. Okay, now this is a little different than some of them we did before, because when you find the slope, you want to pick 2 points that are on corners. Okay, those are pretty good corner points. Okay, they're on the line and they're corner points. You want to rise and run. Okay, we've been doing this. Rise, run. Okay, up and down for rise, over for run. But the difference is on these problems you're going to bump up against is you're going to be counting by something other than ones sometimes. So look at this. Well, let me write this. Rise over run. Okay, the slope is rise over run. Notice the y-axis is counting by fives. See how we're making jumps of 5? So when we rise to get from the first point to the second point, we're really rising 5, 10, 15 in perimeter. Okay, 15. And the x-axis, it also happens to be counting by fives. So we're going over, okay, we're not going over 1, we're going over 5. So the slope is up 15 over 5. So we have 15 over 5 for the slope. Just reduce that. 15 over 5 means 15 divided by 5. So that's 3. Okay, so your equation is y equals 3x. Okay, because it is proportional, because it's a line that goes through 0, 0. If you have a proportional graph, your equation will be y equals something x. That something is going to be the slope of the graph. Okay, I want to show you something though. When you get a little bit further on, okay, they may ask you if a graph is proportional, like in this problem here. Okay, the graph shows the relationship between the number of toppings on a pizza, x, and the price of the pizza, y. Okay, they're first asking you, is it proportional? Okay, well, for it to be proportional, it has to be a line that goes through point. Okay, do you remember? It has to be a line that goes through point 0, 0. Okay, so this would not be proportional. But I want to show you something. We know how to find the equation of that line because you guys know a little bit of 8th grade stuff. Okay, they're not going to ask you for the equation of this line because they don't think you know how. Okay, but you do know how. Okay, when you have a line that's not necessarily proportional, I just want you to realize how smart you guys are. when you have a line that is not proportional, you can still find the equation of it. The number in front of the x is still the slope. Okay, so we could find two corner points. Let's see, why is this not working? Oh, I can't draw on that. Okay, two corner points. I'm just going to go from here to here. Okay, I'm going up 2. See how the y-axis is counting by 2's? I'm going up 2, and then the y-axis also happens to be counting by 2's. So when I rise and run, okay, to get from this point to this point, I'm going up 2 over 2. So my slope is 2 over 2. Okay, but the y-intercept is what you have extra when you have a non-proportional line. The number at the end of your equation is the y-axis intercept. Okay, that line crosses the y-axis at 8. So your equation of this non-proportional graph is y equals 2 over 2x plus 8. Okay, now you can simplify 2 divided by 2. It would look better. Y equals 1x plus 8. Okay, I'm just telling you that even though they don't ask you the equation of a non-proportional graph, you know, okay, we learned how to find the equation of a non-proportional graph. Okay, but if the graph is proportional, your equation will be y equals blank x. And that blank in front of the x will always be the slope of the graph. Okay, so that's basically what you guys are working with on this lesson. Okay, let me know if you have any problems. I want to help you. Shoot for 80. Okay, shoot for a score of 80. Okay, I want to help you, though. If you have trouble, please contact me.